What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to share how we scaled one of the brands that we work with to 10K per day in revenue on Shopify. There's going to be three main components that I'm going to share with you today. So yeah, let's dive in. And then just to show you guys proof that we did scale to 10K a day, you can see here, June last month at the time recording this, multiple days above the 10K mark. Some even higher, like 12K, 13, nearly 14K. So yep, and I'll do a quick refresh here just to show this to you guys. And yep, there you go. All right, so the way I want to structure this is three different areas. We're going to start with AOV and conversion rate. We're going to go into the media buying and the ad platforms, and then we're going to finish off with creative. So let's jump in. So the first thing is the average order value and conversion rate balance. The reason why I call it a balance is because you can't look at average order value or conversion rate as siloed metrics, right? You need to look at them together. It's the combination of both that is really, really important. The reason being is because you can have a really high conversion rate, but your AOV is really low, right? And vice versa. So really what we do is when we're scaling, we need to optimize our AOV and conversion rate to unlock more growth capability. And what I mean specifically by that is that we found that when we optimize both of these metrics, it allows us to unlock more growth, right? We are almost raising our ceiling, right? If you're hitting a ceiling with your ads, if you can't scale past a certain amount, this could be one of the reasons, okay? So we use the following calculation as a guiding principle for where our AOV and conversion rate balance should be. So AOV times conversion rate multiplied by conversion rate equals $250. Now, it could be whatever currency you're in, right? Pounds, euros, whatever. And the important thing here is where conversion rate is the number without the percentage. Just to give you an example, AOV, let's just say, is $67 and our conversion rate is 3.8%. What we do when we actually calculate this is we remove the percentage sign from the conversion rate, right? So we take 67, we multiply that by 3.8, and that gives us $254.60. And this is greater than the goal of 250, which is great, right? So the closer you can get to 250, and ideally beyond, the more scale you can unlock. That's just a rule that we've seen. Doesn't mean that if you're below 250, you can't scale and see good performance, but eventually just what we found from experience is that you do hit a ceiling, right? So you need to break through that. And another thing really here is that advertising costs, well, generally they're increasing, right? But they also increase as you scale, right? As you try to reach more people on the platform, you're taking up more ad platform inventory, and therefore the cost of reaching more and more people is going to increase. So what this means is that you have to be pushing those metrics up to combat that, right? It's just another lever that you can pull. And we aim for AOV to always be above $60. The ideal range is $100, right? So you might be looking at this and saying, well, if my conversion rate is 10% and my AOV is $25, great, right? But we found that there's a slight exception to this equation and calculation, which is the AOV needs to be above $60. And it also goes in line with, the cost of advertising, the CPM, right? If you're in the US and your CPM is $20, but you have an AOV of $35, likely the CPM is higher than your target CPA, right? Which is a problem. So it's really, really difficult to combat ad cost, but what you can do is you can play with these metrics, right? And that's what we do. We have to increase the AOV to at least $60. The ideal range is $100 plus, right? Really, the higher you can get it, the better. There is kind of a diminishing point of return where, the AOV is also dependent on the product itself, right? You might be selling furniture that, you have $1,000 or a couple $1,000 AOV, and then that's obviously very different, right? If you're selling beauty products but your AOV is $500, then that's very unlikely, right? So it is very product dependent, but this is just a general rule for what we follow. So some steps to increase AOV. First off, very simple, increase prices, right? Price testing is something that is not done enough by the brands, just, from what I'm seeing. And when we've done it, we found a lot of success with this. A lot of people are afraid to increase prices, but really is something that needs to be A/B tested. A small increase in price may lead to very little decrease in conversion rate, and you've just increased your AOV, and therefore the AOV and conversion rate balance. Just really, really important to keep an eye on your conversion rate when you do this testing. Second one is upsells and pre and post purchase upsells, right? So this is upsells before they make the purchase and after they make the purchase. I'm going to show you an example in just a moment. And Another one is bundles and offers that encourage more spend. These could be pre-built bundles, it could be build your own bundle, it could be the more you buy, the more you save, you know, buy 3 items and get 1 free, buy 3 and get 20% off, those kind of things. And the fourth and final one is cart draw thresholds for free shipping and free gifts. So let me show you some examples. So here we have just a screenshot of a cart from a brand. And as you can see inside the cart drawer itself, we have this progress bar, right? With these different thresholds. And basically, if I add 2 more pillowcases, I unlock 1 free pillowcase. So it's encouraging me to spend more in order to get this free gift, okay? Another thing here is an upsell, right? This is an example of an upsell pre-purchase, right? Before I've made the purchase, they're asking me, you know, to add this extra item to my cart. Here's another one, you know, with some examples in the cart itself, and just, you know, some more here. So yeah, there's just examples of the progress bar. And what you can do is you can play around with the progress bar as well. Like what we do with our clients is we like to look at, you have really 2 main things that you can have in a progress bar inside the cart. The one is free shipping. Another one is a free gift or multiple free gifts. What you can do is you can be clever and smart by playing around with the thresholds. If you know that, you know, people come to your site and the item that they add to cart or the specific variant or bundle that they add to your cart, that they add to their cart is, I don't know, $62, right? You could set your free shipping threshold to be $69. So they're not that far away. They're like $8 away from hitting that 69 minus 62 is $7. You tell my math is brilliant. But they're $7 away, so they're not far away. That's the whole thing, is you don't want to, let's say, make it $40 away where they have to spend an extra $40 just to get free shipping. It's just like an extra thing. And then you add these additional items in cart, which make it a no-brainer for them just to add to their order, right? So usually it's a lower priced item, something for $10, add that, the AOV goes from 62 to 72, right? And they get free shipping. And then maybe the next threshold is, hey, if you spend $79 or more, or maybe even $74 or more, you get this free gift. And it's like, oh, add this, you know, $7 item to your cart, boom, then your AOV goes up again. So you really want to play with that, right? And that's like a very, very powerful way to increase your AOV. So jumping back here, going into conversion rate. So there's really like 3 main areas where I see you can increase your conversion rate, right? First one is giving website visitors all the information they need to make a purchasing decision, presented in the way that they want to consume it, and making sure to answer all the questions they have in a way that's easy to find, right? This is really just, a lot of the times, brands just make it really, really difficult for customers to find the information that they need. Make it easy, present it in the way, and really understand your customers. A lot of this comes from research, just understanding what questions and objections they have, but also in what order. And really the order of the questions they have is the way you want to answer them on the product page, right? That's just a way that I like to think about it. Second one is presenting a strong offer that appeals to the customer. And third is make it easy and seamless for the customer to make a purchase. Again, if it's really, really difficult for the customer to get to checkout and purchase, you're going to have a lower conversion rate, right? Make it easy, make it seamless, go through the web experience yourself. And what I did in my last video is actually do a much deeper breakdown all about conversion rate. I shared a case study of how we increase conversion rate for one of the brands that we work with. I'll link that below. I'd recommend to go watch that, dig deeper into the conversion rate side, okay? So that is the first AOV and CBR balance. We're going to move into the ad platform itself. So nailing one ad platform, right? So at the point of scaling to 10K per day in revenue, trying to make multiple ad platforms work is one of your biggest distractions, right? Controversial, I know. We like focus, right? Choose one ad platform and make it work. We found the most success at Meta, and there's tons of scale to be achieved on Meta, Google, and TikTok, right? There's brands that are spending $1 million, $2 million, $3 million every single month just on Meta, right? These platforms are huge. And once you nail one of these platforms, you can start to progress to adding others. So what we like to do is we like to get a good, strong foothold in one of the platforms to begin with, right? One that, as I said, we like Meta, very consistent, very robust, and something that we know very well, right? So we like to get a strong foothold there first before we start branching out. Now, it doesn't mean that you should not run any Google ads or maybe even test any TikTok ads. You can do testing, and you should have Google, at least, brand search, some shopping campaigns, even a PMAX campaign set up. That's table stakes, right? But trying I guess, more complicated Google campaigns and really spending a lot of time there, maybe as a distraction at the beginning, if you're also trying to make meta work, right? It's really just a case of focus. You can come back to it later, right? On meta, we use a simple media buying structure that focuses on creative angle testing. So once we find winning creatives and angles, what we do is we scale the winners inside their existing campaign. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll launch a separate ASC, Advantage Plus shopping campaign, with all the winning creatives. So we have, let's say 5 winning creatives. We're going to take those, we're going to duplicate them, and we're also going to launch them in ASC, where we can direct more spend towards them and scale it along with other winning creatives. Then we continue to test new creatives in the background, right? So we never stop testing new creatives because we know that winners fatigue and are eventually going to not be winners over time, right? That's just the nature of the cycle. So what we do is we continue testing new creatives in the background. A smaller percentage of the budget goes to testing, and we go deeper into the winning angles to find new winners, right? So I'm going to touch on this just in a little bit about angles. And then we also start testing landing pages with our winning ad creative. Something that I'm not going to go deep into here, but is also important are landing pages. I've created another video with our landing page strategy as well, which I'll also link below. But that's also another really important part of the puzzle after you find winning creatives, right? It's important that you find the winning creatives first, you find the winning angles first, before you start testing the landing pages, okay? And then we've also found success with whitelisting ads through creator pages on Facebook and Instagram. So if that's something you want to test, I'd recommend trying that out. And then the third and final area is direct response creative. So we focus on testing creative angles to find what works before going deeper into that angle. So what this means is that, just to give you the definition of my definition of an angle, is the combination of the main overarching idea, the stage of customer awareness we're addressing, and the problem and solution we're addressing in the creative, right? So it's kind of like the broader kind of overarching aspect of the creative, right? And the reason why we do this is because we want to find, like, we want to get the right signal from the angle, right? If we get the right signal from the specific idea, the specific stage of awareness that we should be focusing on, the problem solution that works the best, then we can go deeper into that and we can spend a lot more time there, right? At the beginning, you may go really, really deep into an angle, but realize that it's just an angle that doesn't work, right? So that's how we like to test different angles at the beginning, maybe 3 or 4 main angles. And these are your big ideas. And then from there, when you get the good signal in 1 or 2 of those angles, then you go deeper, right? We build creatives using modular direct response frameworks that are proven to educate and persuade viewers to take action. And I've recorded a whole separate video explaining a full ad creative strategy, where I break this down in much more detail. I recommend going and watch that again. That's another one I'll link down below. But really, if you want to go deeper into the creative and how we do it and how we approach it with this direct response and the proven frameworks, I recommend you check that out. So that is the 3 main areas that I'm going to cover today. There's a lot in this, and I recommend even rewatching this video, taking some notes and starting to implement, because we have found that when we do these things, it unlocks more scale, right? And really, really important thing, you need to be pulling multiple levers, right? Each of these is its own lever, right? There's 3 different ones just here. There's more that we could cover, but just for today, there's 3 different ones. And the more you can start to pull, right, the more you can start to push and move things into your favor in terms of performance, in terms of scale. And yeah, that's just what we've seen. So hope this was helpful. If you like this video, would appreciate you, leaving a like, even a comment down below, and tell me what you guys want to see. What are you struggling with, right? What are the main challenges that you're facing? If it's just scale in general, videos like this are going to be really, really helpful. And maybe there's specific issues that you're facing, specific questions that you have. So yeah, that's all. Final thing, you'll find a link down below to a school community. That's really where I share really all this stuff in much more detail. I'm also answering questions in the community. We have an amazing community of e-commerce brand owners who, are helping each other. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out if you are interested. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.